So lesson 11, time cycle analysis. This Kondratieff is actually the name of a person. Okay, the name of a person. He's from Russia. He's a Russian. Okay, and that was back in 1920s. Okay, back in 1920s, his name is Nicola Kondratieff, and he was a scholar. Scholar means academic. Those people who write articles and people who did research and articles. So in his research, so probably he's a professor. He was a professor. So in his research, he was, because in Russia during that time it was a communist era. So during his research, right, he discovered that this capitalism, which is based on technology, right? Capitalism is based on technologies, and this capitalism, right, have developed some technological cycles. Okay, so and then he believed that capitalism is here to stay for a long term. Okay, it's here to stay for a long time. So can you imagine he's in Russia, in a communist country, and he published this kind of an article. So then the communist leader put him into the jail. In 1929, right, he was being executed in the jail. He was shot dead and executed because of this publishing that he published. But later people use his material and then to further refine and then develop into this waves theory. Okay, it's called the Kondratieff waves theory. So let's see. This wave theory is about 50 to, some say 54 years to be exact, is 54 years. Some say it's between 45 to 60 years. Okay, between 45 to 60 years. And some say it's 60 years. So it depends on what research now. But basically it's 45 to 60 years. Okay, it's 45 to 60 years. And then let's see, and these are all based on industrial revolution, like what Noah was talking about. The industrial revolution was actually in the 18th century. Okay, the industrial revolution. First wave is industrial revolution, second wave also industrial revolution. So this one, the first one is about the steam engine, and of course there was a war, which is events near the peak always ended with a war. Okay, usually this war, this 54 years of a cycle, right, usually ending with a, it begins with a technology. Okay, it begins with a technology and then it ends with a war, usually the cycle. Then the second wave, also industrial revolution, railways, steel, heavy engineering, and then also ending with a US civil war. Okay, and also with the depression. Then you have this third wave scientific revolution, where you have electricity, chemistry, chemical industry, and also ended in the 1920s, right? It was a World War I. It was peak at the World War I. That means after that, then it comes the World War, and then it dropped. Okay, so depression. Then you have that fourth scientific technical revolution. It's automobile, mass production, petrochemical industry. Okay, so these are the oil industry in the 60s and the 70s. Then also had the 70s had the Vietnam War and Six-Day War, and the 74 is a oil crisis. So in this case, it has a commodity crash and also a war. Okay, in this case will be the Vietnam War. Then come to the 70s and the 20. Actually, if you're looking at the 70s now, right, it should be plus 60 years will be 20 around here, 20 something. Okay, so this one they cut short to less than 50 years, because if you do add 70 to 50, it will become what? 70 plus 50, it become 2020, right? It should be 2020, not 2010. It should be 2020. Okay, so 2020, it should be the end of it, and then 2021 will be the beginning of another wave. So over here we have the information, the microcomputers, information, telecom. Okay, so if you are looking at the stocks to buy, if you can predict what is going to happen here, then you will know what stock to buy. Then those will be the growth stocks. So can any one of you forecast what, maybe Eugene can share, what do you think will be the next big thing that, you know, the investors can take opportunity from it?
I think still technology, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, what kind of technology? Like, you see the previous one was microcomputers, information, telecom. Then how about here? Could it be 5G?
Yes, it's possible.
5G and satellite.
Satellite, I think not that significant lah. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Um.
Like anything connected to the, I think is the internet lah. Yeah. Like
IoT.
yeah. For now, I can think is still like everything connected to the internet. Everything will be like virtual.
Virtual, yeah.
Yes, I think.
I think in the future, people will get away with currencies. I think. Then they will replace with digital currency. So all this e-wallet, 5G, Internet of Things, all this new technology, new idea will develop in the next 10 years. Okay. So that's why when we are in the investing world, we have to keep on reading all these things so that we know what's the next big thing coming, so that we know what to invest. So this is a Kondratieff waves, whereby you can see that the years peak, and then now we are ending of that wave, and then we are going to start another big thing here. Okay. Then you have that in a summary. The 60-year cycle is a big cycle. Okay, it's a bigger cycle. Then the 17 years is the intermediate cycle, and then followed by there's also a 9.2 years of US stock market cycle, and the 4 years presidential, and the mundane 4-season cycle. The mundane 4-season means the 4 quarters, the 4 quarters. Okay. So these are the stock market cycle. You can look into the stock market cycle as in this kind of waves. Okay, this kind of a cycle. That means you have cycles within cycles.